everybody gels and meshes with each other. From, like I said, Sam Levitt, the starting quarterback, you got all the way down to, specialists and stuff like that. There's no, I like this person more than I like this person. Everybody really gels together and meshes together. And I feel like that's a huge part that a lot of people don't see.
We've got Big 12 champion and Arizona State defensive lineman Justin Wodtly with us. Justin, how's it feel, man, to still have that Big 12 champion attached now to your name?
Man, it feels great, man. Just being here and just looking back on that year and seeing everything that we did all the way back in January, from the sled pushes to suicides, and seeing it all come into fruition at the end of the year, especially when not when really a lot of people counted you out. It's a great feeling for sure.
You told Tim Healy during the season that you looked around Arizona State's, football trophy case, and you saw a lot of trophies, but not a lot of ones, recently. Now, every time somebody looks at that case, they're going to see your team's name with Big 12 champions, dude. That's like full circle moment.
Yeah, man. I think we had just went to the basketball game when we played Iowa State. The whole football team was there. And everybody tells me how like I don't let the trophy go. That's like my favorite thing ever. So yeah, it's very exciting.
Oh, man. What was that like? What was that like having that, that experience with the entire football team, being able to go support Arizona State basketball? Obviously, the end result wasn't what everybody in Tempe wanted, but just what was that like for you, knowing that the basketball team, especially Bobby Hurley and some of those coaches, they made that trip out to Dallas to watch you guys in that Big 12 title game?
Yeah, it's cool, man. Especially being that a lot of different, coaches and even like players from other sports come and support us. I see people like DM me and stuff about coming to the game, and they're excited and stuff. So whenever we have an opportunity to take time away from our schedule and go support those people is definitely cool. Being that I think I've been to, a soccer game, a volleyball game, the basketball game, girls basketball game. Trying to support whenever I get a chance, because all that stuff, all the team chemistry across the entire department is really beneficial, and it really carries your program a long way.
One of the words that we hear with this program a lot is accountability, right? Making sure everybody's doing the right job. Can you give me an example of somebody, whether it's a player or somebody on the coaching staff this year, holding you accountable?
Yeah, man. Like, I talk with a lot with Coach Max Silver, um, and basically just doing all the little things right. Coach Dillingham really makes everything real clear cut, real simple, man. You come in, make sure you check in, make sure you do all the things you're supposed to do and be where you're supposed to be. I think last year, um, I was like rushing out the building or something. I forgot to check in, and the next day, even something so small, right? Just checking in, scanning the QR code or stuff like that. The next day, I'm on the line doing backwards, reverse bear crawls and stuff like that. But it's like, yeah, this sucks. But I mean, I know that if you're gonna hold me accountable, there's probably a freshman, a sophomore, a young guy in the program that sees that, and now what's going through their head is, well, if Watley can't get through, if Watley can't get away with it, if Sam Levitt can't get away with it, if Ben Coleman can't get away with it, I can't get away with it. So now it just shows that everybody is one band, one sound, and everybody's going to be treated the same no matter who you are in the program.
Justin, for you, obviously coming back to Arizona State in 2025. Last year was your first season in Tempe with the Sun Devils. You could have had probably any opportunity around the country being an upperclassman. This previous trip to the college football playoff was your second time in the playoff, once at Arizona State, once at Cincinnati. For you, especially in the era of NIL, transfer portal, why did you make the decision to return to Arizona State and vocalize that so early last season?
Man, it was a very easy decision for me, man. You got to know when you're around the right people. There's always things to chase. There are always, I want to get closer to a national championship, so I'm gonna go play at a powerhouse or stuff like that. Everything that you want to chase is doable right where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? And you're surrounded with a bunch of great people on and off the field. Um, I think a couple of the incoming guys, early enrollees and transfers, they hit on it a little bit on how we have such a welcoming culture here and it feels like a family. Like, so it's like there's nothing else I really need. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm with a great staff. I get to play football, in great weather in Arizona. And one of our biggest mottos is Coach Dillingham likes to say, have more fun working harder than everybody else in the country. And it's not really just a saying here, like it really happens every day, coming to the facility. Even today, we had to get there they sprung a workout on us at 5:55 this morning. Sudden change is what it is, but you still go in there and you still have fun because all your guys are in here with you. So it was a no-brainer for me to come back, man. Playing in this staff and then especially being this close, you know, and we have majority of our guys coming back, man. Who's to say we can't go do it again and go farther this time? So there's not really much out there left that I'm chasing, man. I think I found my home and I love it here.
I find it fascinating to watch the defense grow over camp and, practices leading up to the season and throughout the season, because it really struck me with a group of so many, new faces and turnover and players coming through the transfer portal. And then to see you guys at Camp T, it seems like a team that's been playing together for like 4 or 5 years. Now you're another year past that. Like you mentioned, so many players are returning on defense, critical players who are starting and making big plays this season. Just how much better can you guys as a unit get?
Man, it's just about taking one step forward every day. So that's really our whole motto of going into this season is just not getting complacent. You got close, you did it all, but last year is over with. So it's time to, because you go do all that stuff last year, come out here and win 3 games this year, everybody forgets about all the good stuff you did. So it's just about keeping your foot on the gas and just being able to just come out every day and compete with one another. And then even with, off the field, man, a lot of our guys just enjoy being around each other. It's not really like that at every university where I know at my old school, a lot of people went home and then that was just all you saw of them, until the next day you're at workouts and stuff. Over here is different. Like you're leaving, people planning, let's go do this as a D line. Let's go do this as a defense. Let's go do this. I got this little circle of guys that you kick it with. But like really everybody gels and meshes with each other from, like I said, Sam Levitt, the starting quarterback. You got all the way down to, specialists and stuff like that. There's no, I like this person more than I like this person. Everybody really gels together and meshes together. And I feel like that's a huge part that a lot of people don't see that goes into our success.
You mentioned earlier that you've heard from maybe some of the early enrollees or incoming transfers that you guys have such a welcoming culture. We've talked to some of those same guys that have really reiterated that. Have you had any other conversations with incoming transfers offensively, defensively that have kind of stuck out to you?
Yeah, even some people we brought in, I kind of already knew. Kamari Anderson, one of our tight ends, actually hosted him on a visit when he
Oh,
was
wow.
still in high school at Cincinnati. So, um, bringing in familiar faces and doing stuff like that. I think I helped out a little bit trying to get Shimon Mateo over here last year. So, it's easy to just come in every day with a smile on your face. These are all things that are controllable by you. I can't control what the workout's going to be. I can't control, how hard things are going to get or stuff like that, or if somebody else is yelling at you, but I can control, holding the door open for a teammate, or you can control, just greeting somebody when you walk past them and stuff like that. So really just focusing on those minute details, really take this team like a long way as far as chemistry wise.
Is it hard to shift your mindset from being the hunter to the hunted?
I mean, really when you focus on your goal, your own personal goals, all the outside noise really doesn't bother you anymore. I feel like that like we showed that at the end of the season. After we go to Cincinnati, we lost that game. I don't think we lost another game all the way to the CFP. So being able to just focus and perfect your craft and knowing that I don't know what's going to happen, but I know that all of our goals won't be set in place if we don't win. So we just focus on us and being the best version of yourself every day. We know that it's going to be different this year. Last year, our motivation was nobody believes in you. You know, nobody thinks you can accomplish all the things that you're accomplishing. So now you got to switch the mindset to, okay, we proved that we can do it, but now you got to go do it again. Don't get complacent. Don't get comfortable, and things like that. So when you focus on yourself, everything else really becomes easier.
100%. Look, last question from me, and then we'll get you out of here. I think one of my favorite moments, and I think probably a lot of Arizona State fans, their favorite moments from last season was you, I think, going into halftime of the Arizona State-Arizona game, just belt to ass. That's all you were saying headed to the locker room. Obviously, everybody saw that wild speech from Kenny, no pity for the kitty at halftime. Just what was that moment like for you, being able to go into the rival's house and just absolutely beat them up and down the field for 4 quarters?
Man, it was they were very adamant on letting us know how important this game was. Me being from Ohio, you don't really know too much about the history of the Territorial Cup, but actually coming out here, like, I really wanted to learn, because I went into I actually played in this is the oldest rivalry. The second oldest rivalry in the country was Cincinnati versus Miami of Ohio.
Wow.
So being able to play in both and know the importance, of rivalries and how much they mean to fans, to the community, to the schools, to boosters, to everybody. It means a lot. So I really took time to understand the importance and the history of that game, and to just go in there knowing that we didn't have the cup at that point, so needed that back.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay,
Yeah,
so this is a little off topic. I'm sorry, but we're talking
No,
about rivalry games, and obviously there was some drama with Kingaika and planting the pitchfork, and we saw across a lot of college football a lot of teams getting mad about a flag or something getting planted. From a player's perspective, understanding that you could be on both sides of it, where do you stand on stuff like that during rivalry games?
I feel like you can't, like, as the NCAA or whatever, like, you can't ban stuff like that because it's a part, like, of the passion of the game. My thing is, you don't want a flag or a pitchfork or a Mack truck. It don't matter. You don't want nothing getting put on the middle of your field. Don't lose. Don't
Facts.
lose at home.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't lose at home.
It really is that simple, isn't it?
It really, like, don't lose. Like that, you can talk when you're up, man. But if you're down, like, you're down.
There will be no flag planting. Like, Jacob wouldn't have done that if we didn't win.
Yeah.
So, like, if you don't want that happening, win. Like, win.
Facts. Thank you.
Mic drop. Look, Justin, I think I speak for all Arizona State fans. They are really, really excited to get you back in 2025. Like you said, see if Arizona State can take it even a step further in the college football playoff in 2025. I'm sure we'll see out there when spring ball rolls around, but we appreciate you taking the time today, Justin.
Definitely, man. I appreciate you guys for having me.